know that.
You don't want to do the big one?
But he played customer all day.
I'm gonna erase that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, glad you all made it. This is the JBS Black School of Historical Trades and Knife Making, and this is our regular monthly meeting. So we're gonna get started here. We've got a couple of demos tonight. Mr. Ricardo Villar is gonna demonstrate how to peen a pen properly. And then I'm gonna do a little demo on knife sharpening. Do we need to do the knife sharpening demo in here?
No, we can go
We
there.
can go out there and do that?
Yeah.
And is that where you're also gonna do the
Yeah.
peening in the other room?
Exactly.
Okay. We had some questions about how to chop a two before in half. It's not so much as the way you stand, that really has nothing to do with just stand where you're not gonna hit yourself with a knife. But if you'll look at your two before, when it's in your rack, if you hit straight across like that, you're taking the whole blunt force of that. But if you'll angle your knife like this, there's less resistance on that corner. So make a chop here, a left and a right, and then angle your knife this way and chop that corner, left and right. Jerry, you got a question?
Show the two before laying flat. How they gonna chop that? Yes.
That's what I did. That's the two before right there. Looking at the end
He'll
view.
do 4-8 big, you go.
You're looking at the end of it.
The end view.
Okay.
Tilt your head.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm late to the party.
Yeah, I know. You're always late. So, you know, indicating the least resistance with your knife. And if you cut here and here, that hole's gonna get narrower as you go down. So it's gonna be more difficult to chop through it. But if you'll space out your cuts here and here, then your hole, by the time you get to there. See what I'm saying? So you wanna cut far enough apart that you can meet at the bottom instead of right there. So now you're down in that wedge trying to cut straight down all the way through it. You can't do it. That's where it's gonna take the 390 licks and you'll never get to it because you're going straight down. You gotta get you an angle starting and come in there so that you
He said
meet at
he's
the
the
bottom.
next server too much.
And take off the corners, take off this corner, and then take off that corner, walking back and forth each time. Make a cut here off one corner, same corner over there, and then reverse. Make the opposite corner here, the opposite corner there. Each time, back and forth. And you'll find your knife will cut deeper because you've got less resistance than it's trying to cut flat across it. And that's pretty much it. A little practice and you'll have that. It's all pretty simple. Have we got any kind of announcements we need to make, Jerry? Blade show, blah, blah, anything? I think the blade show's coming up pretty quick.
Yeah, for those that get back one for stamps, that kind of thing.
Anybody going to be judged for journeyman or master or, no? So I guess we're ready to do the demo. Do you want to do yours?
Okay.
You want me to do mine or what?
Do you wanna? Whatever. Do you wanna show some of the knives that we have tonight, and we
Show the
can,
knives.
or just if anyone can bring your own knife, he's probably gonna be better than to start to go with the cell phone all the way around, and everybody can bring and introduce your own knife, or
So you're gonna
for
do it
the
here at the
audience.
camera?
Yeah, if we can, probably gonna be.
Okay.
Whoever wanna show that, so
If you guys
it's
want to
not,
show your knives, go in there and get them and bring them to the camera.
uh-huh,
Emil is a little bit late, but she is headed here.
All right.
oh, okay.
So
we're
we
gonna
need to
have-
wait
But she
until after
does,
the
she came
meal.
next, so I'll need Ricardo or Matt to talk to her. And when she does get here, I'll let y'all.
Okay. Gin ball, did you bring anything? Jerry, you want to show some knives right there in front of you? That's like you do at every.
Great.
the front of the camera is the other side. In front of the camera is the other side.
The other side.
Yeah, that side right there.
It's that equator thing. So just let them do it yourself?
Yeah, you can do it by yourself.
So I am, this is 5160. I am starting on my new chopper for the competition. He told me 2 minutes. I don't know if I'm gonna go 2 minutes. There it is.
You're not prepared for that. Can I see that? Hey guys, this is Hey Adam, did you bring anything? Yeah, just bring. This is a Gene Bob. Gene Bob was the winner of the cutting competition during the festival, and he is preparing another cutter. Apparently, he'd like it, the big knives. So yeah, go there, Gene Bob. This is Gene. Okay. Gene Bob Lamb, if you want to talk with him, right here.
Go to the door over there.
Doug Mercado just said something. Go there and read what Doug Mercado just said. J.R. Cook.
So this one here just burst.
At ease. Can't hear. At ease.
I doubt the epoxy is hard in that yet.
Just started to describe your knife, please.
Okay, that is about 900 layers of Damascus. It's got a lot of shimmer on the cutting edge, sandbar stag, stainless fittings. It is yet to be engraved. It's ready to go to the engraving room now. I just finished that one up. This one here.
900 layers, yeah. Doug Mercado is watching the.
Okay, that is the color.
Look at that engraved, people.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Whenever you're gonna
It's got
focus.
feathers and tracks. And
It's not okay. It's gonna focus somewhere. Yeah, right there.
that's supposed to be a turkey feather, if you didn't notice.
Making tracks.
Turkey tracks is all gold inlay.
All gold inlay. And has a gold inlay around the border of the feather. The stems of the feathers are gold inlaid. Walrus ivory grip. All stainless
That
fittings.
is so cool. Beautiful. Look at this feather. And also, whenever oh, come on, focus. Okay, it's not gonna focus today. And one more. Look at that. Lucas, do you have any idea how we're gonna focus? Okay, right now. Look at the butt cap. How do you call this butt cap? A basket?
I'm sorry.
How do you call this
It's
engraving?
a basket weave with a vine in it. Has a little gold vine, some leaves.
And also Damascus.
Also Damascus.
That's gorgeous.
Stag handle, sandbar stag. And this is one that a guy bought last week.
Hey, Doug Mercado, you gonna like that?
Doug has seen that, I believe.
Yeah, he saw that, I think.
Yeah. The gentleman that owns that wanted me to show that again. A little karambit, that's water buck antler on the handle.
We need a bigger piece of paper behind the knife because it's making the focus.
I always try to focus.
Or
on
just
that.
bring that, please. Any other knife? Okay, guys, yeah, just flip that. Can you turn this completely? Yeah, it's gonna be a white, and I think that will
So while you
This
finish
is one
that-
of my knives. It's sold already, also with engraving here. Who else?
Especially the engraving like this.
Oh, this is a big one, guys.
Yeah, this is my competition knife for the Bowie Festival a couple of months ago.
Do you have a business card with
I do
you?
have a business card with me.
Oh, what kind of steel is this?
This is 1075.
1075, guys.
It has a black palm handle, mild steel fittings. All my information's on the right side of it.
Like it's scaled down. Same. And it'll have
Oh, this is a nice one.
This is the newest in our series of everyday carry knives. It's a little push dagger. It's 8670. It comes with a nice little sheath to carry it on you.
Excellent. Who else? Adam?
My knife is a very simple rotary forge,
Rooted
ball
for
bearing,
ball bearings with
canister.
canister.
Yeah.
What kind of pounder did he use?
1084, I think.
Oh, 1084. Okay, yeah, 1084 and ball bearings.
And ball
Oh,
bearing,
okay.
yeah. And this just
Look at that. This is distal taper, and it has a forge here
forge.
for grip. Really comfortable.
Just my. I make a lot of this style knife, but just in like 5160 for just hunters. You know, just skinny knife. But this one that I did with ball bearings. In fact, it's the first ball bearing knife that I had done, and it
But
turned
it's
out
really
decent.
good, really
It turned
good.
out
Do you have any business card to show the information?
No.
You don't? So whenever wanna follow, contact you, gonna Rusky?
It's Rush, R-U-S-H.
Oh, it's H. No, it's not a K. It's
R-U-S-H.
Rush. Rush.
And I'm in Texarkana.
Texarkana.
Yeah.
And also, we're gonna be here all Friday. Oh, there is a line. Come.
Where you want us to get?
Right here.
Right here.
So you're gonna explain a little bit about your knife?
Yeah, it's just a little, start out a raindrop pattern there. A lot of it I ground out, you can see, but it's got an elk handle on it, got a Damascus butt cap. This is, got about 270 layers of 1080 and 15 and 20 in it.
He don't know the North one.
You might be interested in something else.
Look at that, guys. So, Warm, do you have any business card with you to show if somebody wanna contact you?
There we go.
Oh, right here.
Here's the,
And another one.
I made this for a customer this week. I hadn't quite finished it, but
You made the sheath as
I made
well?
the sheath and all. Now this is just a regular high carbon knife out of 5160, and I've about got it finished up. I just brought it up here, showed it, but it's. He sent me a picture of the style of blade he wanted,
Uh-huh.
and so that's what we made for him. I got to get it ready to get it in the mail.
How much for something like that?
$250 for that and the sheath.
$250 and sheath.
Uh-huh.
It's a good deal, that. Good deal. Thank you.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you. The next one. Oh, boa noite, gauchada, mas aqui hoje à noite é só em inglês agora. Oh. Hey, this next guy is Adam
Malay.
Malay. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Adam Malay. And you can follow him on Instagram right here. Wow, that is just the one that you have the cutting competition with you. So this is Damascus. I think that was the only Damascus knife that we had there. Do you
That's the only
remember?
one I've seen. I'm not sure though.
So look at this handle, guys. That's so comfortable. How do you call this pattern, Adam? How do you call the name of this pattern?
I think we did a ladder on that.
Ladder, uh-huh. This is really comfortable. So how much something like that gonna run?
This one runs about 1800.
About 1,800 people. Okay. Thank you, Alan. Right here. You're gonna introduce your knife and yourself.
Yeah, so Brandon Marvel's Edge is my Instagram. You can get a hold of me at. This is a new style I've been working with. It's a 5160 blade, water buffalo handle.
Water buffalo handle. Look at that. This is completely dark. You have no other kind of stain or something.
It turned out really good. New polishing method. Learned how to do that with that one.
Do you have a business card with you?
I don't have it.
He does not have a
It's
business
in the
card
other
with him.
building. This is a buoy I'm working on. It's not done. You still see the temper colors, but I've been working on my lathe and the mill and learning to do that, and then just working on fit up and final finish will be next for that one. And that's bird's eye maple handle.
What kind of maple is that?
Bird's eye. It's
Bird's
just
eye, okay. Olho de pássaro. Bird's eye handle.
That's it.
Interesting. Did you make your guard on a lathe?
Yeah, I did the lathe and then milled the flats. Round stock mild steel is what it was.
Excellent. How much something like that gonna run?
I don't know on this one. Probably around the 300 mark for me.
$300 about that. Okay, thank you. Who else? Matt? Ok, pessoal, estamos aqui falar em português um pouquinho, na James Black, James Black School, Bladesmithing School, Historical Trades. Então essa é a escola de cutelaria aqui no Arkansas. Estamos no nosso encontro mensal. Okay. Anybody else to show knives, or are we gonna move on to other stuff? I did one. I did mine. Yeah, I did mine already. So yeah, we can move on to other stuff. Okay. We can go for demonstrations right now. Vamos caminhar um pouco. Vai balançar, pessoal, porque eu vou com ele na mão aqui. Hey guys, I'm gonna shake a little bit because I'm gonna walk with that. And I don't have a... Aqui tem mais facas, pessoal. Hey guys. Keith, the pardon. Hey, are you?
Is the machine on?
Are you ready? Are we ready for demonstrations? We're gonna have a good food. We're gonna have a good food tonight here.
Barbacoa, güey.
Vamos a tener tacos, tacos al pastor. JR,
Yeah,
we are arriving. Are
You
you
are
ready?
here.
I'm here.
you're early.
Are you here?
I am.
Oh, are you eating?
Quick now.
Okay.
So are we ready for a little demo?
Gerald, that little case go with that knife. You got three of them.
The zipper case.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of these didn't have one.
Yeah. I don't want to cut myself.
Well, that's a-
So do a battery if I stay there in front of you.
Where do you like to hit it?
We gonna recommend for the school to get some batteries?
Batteries?
That's all that's wrong with the air conditioner.
Well, maybe we can take up the collection.
Pull it off the wall, and you'll see what size it is.
The brains is down, or down, huh? Double A?
That's all it needs, is the two double A's.
Hold them out, rub them together, see if you can get a little bit more juice out of them. This is going.
Yeah, it's good. You're
I'm
ready.
wild on
You're
YouTube.
ready to go.
I wonder where my director is.
Put it right here.
There's the director.
That's the director's.
He needs to say action or something.
Tell him to go.
Hey, it's ready.
It's ready.
Yes, sir.
So guys, sharpening your knife, you know, we as knife makers, we can get them sharp right off the belt. Problem is our customers don't have a grinder. So they're gonna have to stone them. And if you don't stone your knife right off the grinder, there's gonna be high low spots in it. And you'll see that when you drag your knife across the stone and really examine the edge, you'll see where there's spots that stone's not touching. So to me, it's kind of important that I stone my knife so that my customer can re-lubricate that edge when he gets home. And you'll see this knife is, you know, this sword is kind of sharp, but not really. So we're gonna sharpen this, and I use this WD-40 as a lubricant. It kind of helps float those shavings off my stone, and I like to keep my stone clean. This stone's 25 years old, so you know, if you take care of it, it's gonna last you forever. You know, there's a lot of different methods of sharpening. I've seen people make circular motions, and that works. That'll sharpen your knife. I've seen people pull away from the cutting edge, and that also works. And I've seen people cut into the stone. And you need to try all of these different methods because you're gonna find that it's a different edge. If I pull away like this, it's gonna create a really long burr. And it's gonna be very keen and very sharp. But for heavy duty work, chopping something out in the field, that edge ain't gonna hold up. It's gonna roll that long burr over pretty quickly. But if you're just slicing tomatoes, you know, for a culinary knife, that would be fine. Also, you need to think about the steel that you're using. May require a different stone. You know, a lot of stainlesses, it's better to have a diamond impregnated stone to sharpen a stainless blade. I don't deal with a lot of stainless, mostly I do high carbon. And this I think is a medium grit Norton. The biggest trick to sharpening is maintaining the same angle left to right. And if you make 3 passes on this side, do 3 on this side. Try to keep it balanced. And if you'll notice, I've got my hand out here. What I'm doing here is I'm gauging height. So I get a muscle memory of what that angle that I want. You know, they say a 20-degree angle is the best, and that works great, but think about your knife. If it was a straight razor, that would be a 20-degree angle would work all the way out. But this knife is tapered two directions. It's tapered from the spine to the cutting edge, and it's tapered from the hilt to the point. So as I'm cutting across there, that 20-degree angle is changing all the time. It's no longer adequate. It's no longer 20 degrees out here because the angle's different. Because the blade's tapered this way and this way. So if you notice, as I'm dragging across there, I'm lifting it back here. Did you notice that? And knife makers in general, in the tips of their fingers, they'll lose feeling. So you can't feel it and say that that's sharp. I can't tell you that that's sharp. But the best way to do it is just lay it on your thumbnail, and if it hangs, it's getting really sharp. If it just slides off, then it's dull still, so continue wetting it. But I want it to hang on that thumbnail all the way down that cutting edge. And as you feel like you're getting closer, slow down the number of times. Just go to one stroke each pass instead of 3 and 3. You know, you might go to 2 and 2, and then you may go to 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 until you're sharp. And if you'll look at this knife, I don't know if that camera will get in that close, but you can see right here there's a low spot where that stone has not touched the edge yet. And that's due to your grinder belt. Even if you're using a rotary platen, the rotary platen will get it really close. It's a lot better than just the slack belt up on top. You'll get a more uniform edge. And I use the rotary platen on mine, but even with that, you're still going to have little spots that's just a little lower than the other. And if you don't stone it, if you take it right off your grinder and polish it and buff it and send it to your customer, as soon as it gets dull, he's going to be very unhappy because he can't sharpen it without spending a long time right here. And he's not going to want to do that but one time. And he'll find a new client to purchase his product from him. So I feel like that's getting right out there, and I like to strop mine. Now that I've stoned it, this is just a piece of leather glued on a board. Spray a little WD-40 on that, and then some buffing rouge rubbed into it, and then I just use it as a strop. I'm not sure what this steel is. It's
W2.
one of the guys provided us this little knife to do a demo with, so we'll see how it's going.
Is that leather?
That's leather, yeah. That's pretty close. Now, you know, like I said earlier, there's a lot of different stones, and you need to try different stones. This is an Arkansas black, and I really like it on some knives, but mostly I use this one. This will put a more of a finer tooth. This is the Arkansas white. It's a little more aggressive than the black, but not quite as aggressive as this one. But they're all good stones. And like I said earlier, you can get a diamond stone. Be mostly for a stainless blade.
JR, is it okay that the one that's in the vise to use it as like a primary and finish up with the black, the Arkansas black, or not really?
Well, it depends on what edge I want.
Okay.
Now, if I was making a knife for you to shave with, I'd use the black stone.
Finish up the edge.
If I'm wanting a knife for you to use in the field, I'll use this stone. This stone will shave as well, but it'll want to cut meat along with the hair.
I got you.
This will get a smoother finish. So that, I mean, it'll shave, but it won't cut meat as well. I guess the difference between a butcher's edge and a barber's edge.
So the orange stone gives you more micro serrations to help cut the meat better?
This one does.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. More coarse.
Yeah, okay.
JR, how much pressure were you putting on that when you were sharpening it?
At first, I started off pretty heavy, but then as I progressed on and the knife started to become sharper, I lightened up. You know, like this little knife here, it's semi-sharp, but it's got a little spot in it. I just finished this one today. So all it's gonna require is light pressure. You know, that one there, the edge wasn't quite where it should have been off the grinder, but it was close enough that stone finished it, okay? And then, that's when you would hand sand. I always sharpen them prior to hand sanding, and then I may end up, after I hand sand, then all I'll have to do is maybe 1 or 2 passes. If I hand sand it first and then sharpen it, and I get scratches from my stone up on the side of my knife, okay, so I don't want to waste that extra step. But, you know, like I was telling you earlier, all directions of cutting the stone, pulling away, circular, all of those work. It just sets up a different edge. And that's something you guys need to practice with your knives and see, you know, which edge do you prefer? You know, what are you going to do with the knife? What's its primary function? Like the karambit he's carrying there, you know, that knife is not designed to slice tomatoes and carrots. You don't really want that knife to be razor blade sharp. You want it to be sharp enough to cut, but it's more painful being cut with a dull knife than it is to be cut with a sharp knife. So if you made it painful, then you may only have to cut one time. So that's cut a lot better, so I only made just a couple of passes. But that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, it's a simple task. Your biggest thing is going to be learning to hold that angle the same left to right. Yes.
Quick question. You see 1,000 YouTube videos on how to do this. And some people say, stay with one side and you feel a burr roll up. And then, yeah, that's why is that a myth? Is that opinion? I mean, I get
Believe nothing you hear, half of what you see, and go try it for yourself.
Try it for yourself. I'm with you.
So it's just whatever works for you.
Your theory is same number on each side.
I want to keep my edge in the center of my blade. I mean, that's my primary goal from the beginning, from forging it, to keep it into the center. And then when I grind it on the grinder, I'm concerned with keeping my cutting edge in the center. Why would I not be when I got here?
Absolutely.
So,
That's what I.
yes, sir.
What's your opinion on water stones?
On water stones, I'm not really familiar with them that much. I'm sure they have their place.
They are popular in the Japanese, so.
Yes, and in woodworking, they used a lot of woodworking for
Sharpening
planes and stuff.
tools.
I just didn't know if you had an opinion on sharpening knives with them.
I don't see any reason why they wouldn't work. You know, like you said, the Japanese sword, I think they primarily use one of these.
Sogo stones for a fish rod, and that's what we use.
All right, well, I guess we're ready to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so the ladies outside are serving tacos de barbacoa, which is my favorite, or beef tacos.
Yes.
This is awesome. However, $7 a plate, cash only. Then whenever you guys want to go get it, go get it. Sit down, eat whatever you like.
So from now on, like next month, I think they're working maybe to get the barbecue truck to come by. So we're gonna have, somebody will be different, or hopefully these ladies will come by several times. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna kind of move over to that food thing. Okay, yep. Go ahead, wait, before we go ahead.
Yes.
Would you say blessings? And that way
I will.
we'll get that covered.
Lord, thank you for an opportunity to gather together and practice our craft and have a good time in fellowship. We ask you to bless this food, the strength and nourishment of our bodies. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Okay. You on your own, buddy.
I'll go get 'em.
Yeah. We're gonna take a short intermission. We're gonna take a short intermission. Yeah, short. Short intermission while we eat. We're gonna use our knives.
Clothes and prayer.
You just show
Then when he gets through, he'll say, "Now go get 'em." He didn't finish up that thing.
Now.
You what?
Now I gotta buy a whole bunch of stuff.
Nah.
You're not taking drag from you.
Oh. We if I can get up and get out the other way, I can't
How
go out the way
many people
everybody
do we
else.
have? 15 at the
But
moment.
I'm getting
Oh,
better.
it's pretty
Wait, now,
low.
I like your rock there. How you got it set up, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, I just got a little piece of plywood, cord around it, screwed it to a tube.
Ok, deixa eu conversar com eles. Temos a maioria são brasileiros? Oh, we have some Brazilians and some other Americans. So, pessoal, nós vamos agora fazer um intervalo aqui para comer. Quem quiser ficar na live, ou então estão, como eu havia mostrado antes, estão fazendo os tacos. E todo mundo vai comer. E depois, we're gonna come back.
The gentleman's gonna pay for everybody's meal tonight.
Who?
The guy in the bald hat.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you kidding
¿Es
me?
viejo? No sé. ¿Quién es?
Não sabe?
No.
Cooking in a long time. You gonna fix me something to eat?
I'm hurrying.
Am I gonna get gone?
tire shop about a Texarkana area. Really good.
Mark? He'll not gonna eat it all.
Huh?
Makes a lot of sense.
So leave me a little. We're gonna get it all. Push up yourself. Hey, y'all leave me a little bit.
Okay, Gene Bob, we're gonna eat in. Okay, just hold on. Yes, tacos.
Street tacos. I'm gonna tell you what, my oldest daughter is gonna be pooch lips. She loves street tacos.
Pessoal, como a gente não tá lá, vocês podem fazer perguntas em português agora, eu consigo responder. E o pessoal tá pegando aqui comida e tudo mais, daqui a pouco eu vou comer também. Então, aproveitem agora. I want the fish taco. Vamos lá, então. Não sei o nome dele, mas sei que ele é fera. Eu já vi fazendo colher e outros objetos na bigorna. Muito bom. Beleza, pessoal. Então, acho que a gente vai dar um tempo por aqui, deixar a live rodando e daqui a pouco a gente volta para uma última demonstração ali, que eu vou falar um pouquinho sobre pinos abaulados e como que eu faço, ou como que a gente pode trocar algumas ideias, lembrando que isso nunca é algo 100%, isso é só como a gente se mostra, não exatamente como a gente... O Jerry tá lá. Mas isso não é uma regra, a gente mostra como a gente faz. Existem, obviamente, várias e várias outras formas de serem feitos.
Spicy red one. This is the spicy.
Where'd she go? Go ahead, I'll get back in yard.
You go anywhere you want. Like you being a big boy and all, you just go where you want.
I'll go up the steps with this and you go.
I'm getting too much exercise.
Pessoal, para quem não conhece, aqui é um encontro mensal que a gente tem toda a última sexta-feira do mês, às 6 horas da tarde aqui no Arkansas, o que são 2 horas antes do Brasil. Então, às vezes vem essa quantidade pequena de pessoas, às vezes vem 30 pessoas, às vezes vem 3 pessoas. Então, a gente nunca sabe. Hey Jerry.
Is it good?
This is why we make this meeting, isn't
That's
it?
right. Spicy too. Yeah, when you get a hold of the sauce, the red or orange is the spicy one.
Yes, I know that. I know that already. Look. Pega faz um prato pra mim disso daí, por favor. Uno más, por favor. No, un para mí.
Un plato.
Sí, por favor.
Ooh, that's good.
E pega um negócio pra beber, por favor.
Good knives, good food.
Good knives, good food.
Oh, good night.
Good people.
Well, except that one.
Não, põe um bagulhinho aqui. Não põe o amarelo, não.
Is this trying to be fast?
Yes.
So you had a whole plate.
Pra mim está bem. Gracias.
Adam's daddy bought all of it.
Sorry?
Adam's daddy paid for everything.
Adam?
Adam's dad.
Oh, really? I think it was.
He bought everything.
Oh. I gave you the wrong information.
Huh? What's in here that she gets for him? Oh, this is when I cook the turnip beef, this is the fat. Okay. So I don't have to put oil, it's just the fat. That works. You have the whole flavor of the tortilla.
Fucking good.
Hot and hotter?
The red one is the hot. The other one is the fresh one.
You better learn to love Mexican food and speak Spanish. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
I think it's in here.
Está quente, né?
Está caliente. Muy caliente.
Muito caliente.
Hot off the grill.
Single Mexican.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That goes all the way back into the war.
I wanted to come back and make some gorditas.
Military auxiliary landing strip.
Heard, I don't know if it's true.
They land big jets on that one.
Põe alguns aqui. Os dois, três.
I'll go in here, I'm gonna.
Set up,
You
you
like
know,
one
ready
of
to
those.
use if need be.
Gracias.
I thought it'd be good to get JR to do that. You know, I don't need to do everything all the time.
Sorry?
I thought it was good to get JR to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need the same person every time. It's all.
You girls cooking up over at Uncle Al's also?
Huh?
Uncle Al's up at Queen?
No.
No?
They're from Nashville.
Okay.
Al used to get, there's a this taco place around the corner from Al's.
Okay. I'll be, my folks are still there, you know.
Yeah.
I guess they're still going on second Thursday.
Second Thursday, yeah.
Cutelaria Souza perguntando se eu faço um curso online. Tô pensando em fazer um curso online. Tem tanta gente perguntando. Olha o Lucas aí, o Lucas careca aí, ó. Raspou o cabelo.
We are down some,
É, Geraldo Vieira, um abraço aí, cara. Obrigado.
only a few, but we're going.
Valeu, Luiz Golf.
We're having about 20,
25. Obrigado por ter dado início aos meus trabalhos. Ah, bacana, cara. Olha que legal.
We do you've been there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Show de bola, pessoal. Eu tô pensando depois, assim, quem não entende muito inglês, eu tô pensando depois fazer uma... Eu nem sei como é que funciona isso no YouTube, mas eu já vi muita gente fazendo React. Então, se eu faria um React sobre essa live, traduzindo quem não consegue entender todas as informações em inglês. Me deem um salve aí se isso é viável, se vocês acham que isso vale a pena. I was telling them, because not everybody speaks English on my channel, so I can make another video making a react, so we're going to watch the video together. I don't know how to do that exactly right now, but it's possible. I'm going to show the video and also translate later for somebody, so it's going to be posted online, so...
Well, that red sauce is good. Hot?
I guess so.
You make knives also?
No, Adam does. my son.
good flavor.
Oh, he's inside.
Okay.
Inside. Yeah. Got an orange shirt on.
He was a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Knives might be big in this country.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure.
Now they're
Well, that's the thing, Mama.
also.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
This with extra calories in it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I've been coming down here with everybody.
Okay, so this has been good for,
Yeah. For the local economy, yeah.
yeah, and then this kind of still got very good race mixing up going too.
Yeah.
They did blue.
How you been doing?
Good.
Okay.
And you?
Doing all right.
They just come here back in 8.
Been doing a while, haven't you?
James Dean, your Spanish, mine is terrible as well. I do not speak Spanish.
Did Jay already
But
get the plate?
I'm learning a little bit and I can understand some words.
Now, I counted 20 people. Well, I counted. Okay? So,
Jerry, I'd be glad to do doing that up at Al's. About twice a year at least. I'll do barbecue right up there for everybody.
40 is what would
Do the whole mess. I'd be glad to do that. Not charge nothing.
and so they can have seconds if they want.
What kind of meat you
They can come back.
I use pulled pork shoulders.
It's really good.
They'll do really good.
just figure out a month that you want to do that?
Well, anytime. If you get, whenever you want me to do it. Well, usually what I do, my wife makes a big old banana pudding and I make the barbecue
Yeah, you can never go wrong with a good banana pudding.
and she does that icebox banana pudding, not cooked, but it's really good. But,
My Spanish is like my English. I pretend I speak English, they pretend they understand me, everybody's happy.
How many people are working?
Now 17.
Wow. More people than
Don't
we
get
had
that if I
inside.
know. Come back for a second, okay? So they can come
Did you
back.
have many watching, or can you tell?
17 people so far.
Right
So
now.
right now. Oh, right now. Okay. So probably they had a rotation, and I think some are Americans, some are Brazilians. So this is completely new that we are doing. Sorry?
I got those.
I just need one.
Put it on.
Yeah, I've got to marry that. I have instructions to take home.
Whatever we see, bring somebody home.
He was instructed now, he didn't say I'm volunteered.
What do you need?
I'm gonna carry that home.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good, wasn't it? Good.
She's gonna prepare one for you, Jared. I think she's gonna wrap something and prepare for you to go. Oh, can I ask that?
Do you want some people to go? I have a place to go. Yeah.
Gotta lead him around like a puppy.
I have learned in 2001 to never leave him alone.
Yeah.
Never leave him by himself.
That's the truth. Big and my own mother wouldn't leave me by myself. I've known him a long time.
I asked my daughter if she wanted to come tonight, and she said, yes, Ricardo saw And I said, never mind. Stay home. Go back to her bedroom.
Yeah.
This makes me want to go home and fire up my Blackstone. I got
Really?
Jerry, we lost one of our bladesmiths.
Yeah.
Our master quit on us.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He just got completely out.
Yeah, I mean, out.
Out.
I go there and gonna show some of the knives there with more details. Vamos andar um pouco, pessoal. Vou lá mostrar mais as facas. Aqui é o estacionamento da escola, para quem não conhece. São 3 prédios. We have 3 buildings. That is the shop. There. Temos as forjas, as bigornas, as deixadeiras naquele prédio ali. Aqui é onde o JR estava mostrando a fiação. E lá é uma casa. Tudo isso aqui, pessoal, pertence ao patrimônio histórico. São prédios bastante antigos. Vamos subir lá. They did what? They did a biopsy on his lungs and his lungs. Yeah. And they called him up and said, well, what's the deal? They said, well, we took the sample, but there's no cancer. Ah, isso aqui não foi mostrado, vou mostrar para vocês. É um revólver 22 Magnum, acho que da American Arms, a single action, que o Jerry fez o engraving. Vou mostrar para vocês aqui. Vamos lá. Aqui. Então é um 22 Magnum. Você precisa retirar, precisa abrir aqui. Não é nem um pouco prático, né? Aí você retira o cilindro e aí, né, volta o cilindro lá dentro e aí ele fez o engraving. Eu tô afim de começar a fazer engraving em algumas das minhas armas também. Eu largar de ser preguiçoso. Minha mão melhorando agora, eu vou fazer. É como o Jerry não trouxe nenhuma faca, ele trouxe esse cara aqui para mostrar o engraving que ele faz. E aqui o coldre, né? Então o cara vai aqui. A unha de onça ali com o Lucas. A nossa boa e velha unha de onça. Palpa toda a obra. Vocês veem que é um estilo diferente. Esse daqui, pessoal, é um kit que o Fisk está fazendo, o kit e o J.R. Cook estão fazendo alguns kits, em desenhos deles. Você compra a lâmina e você põe o cabo que você quiser em inox. Aqui, ó, mais uma Bowie do J.R. Cook, ele não mostrou aquela hora. Estou mostrando aqui agora para vocês. If somebody that does not speak Portuguese want to make some questions, just start the question and I can answer. Então, estou falando que se alguém não sabe português e quiser perguntar em inglês, eu posso. This is a J.R. Cook knife. De novo, essa é uma das minhas peças, já foi vendida também com engraving. Falou, Rodrigo. Um abraço, cara. Obrigado por ter ficado até agora. Sei que é uma live bastante diferente, bastante chata, mas tá aí. É o que a gente pode mostrar, o que a gente pode fazer. Beleza? Aí deixa eu ver aqui do outro lado. Aqui nós temos... pode ser umas peças de cozinha aqui do... J.M. Stevens. Aqui, pessoal, nós temos cotovelos de vários os níveis, tá? Vários níveis, pessoas começando, pessoas já mais antigas, né? Aqui, desbaste altão, né? Que ele fez. Uma peça de mais ou menos uns 5 milímetros aqui. O acabamento não é assim, aquele cara mais refinado, mas é aquilo que eu tô falando, tem gosto para tudo, né? Tem para todos os bolsos, né? O pessoal está fazendo aí, mostrando mais para cá para a direita. Aqui a lâmina que o Jim Bob está fazendo. Aqui do Dave Warmington, ele assina o Warm. Bowie. E a bainha em couro de arraia. Aqui algumas lâminas que estão sendo produzidas. Não sei de quem é isso aqui. Acho que é do Adam. Falei Adam Mile, ficou bravo comigo, é Adam Malay. Adam Malay. É interessante a forma com que ele faz um hollow bem aqui no meio do tangle. Here is a hologram right in the middle of the tangle. O que mais? Aqui. Essa aqui é uma das facas do curso que a gente fez aqui em 4 dias. Essa faca é feita em 4 dias aqui no curso do início, forjar e tudo. E a gente vai explicando uma série de situações aí, geometria de fio, cabo, né, alinhamento de dorso. Tudo isso vai sendo explicado. Maravilha, pessoal. Aqui são umas facas antes do curso. Você vê que ele fazia já um desbaste bastante obtuso, né? Tá vendo? E aí a gente veio um cabo bastante quadrado. Aí foi melhorando com o tempo. O que mais? O que mais? O que mais? O que mais? Aqui nós temos algumas fotos. Faca do Landry, Jerry, J.R. Cook, Bowie number 1, uma faca minha. What else? Hey guys.
Hey, did we miss the Camden one?
Oh no, we're gonna make
We haven't
that.
done that yet?
Yeah. Let's go back there. Is everybody done?
I think so.
Vamos voltar lá. Aqui a sala de acabamento, ar-condicionado e essas mesas aqui. Deixa eu ver, acho que eu vou ficar por aqui. Vou fazer a demonstração por aqui, talvez.
I would have brought it tonight if I
We made up a bride.
hadn't already given it to you.
Maybe I go over to Sherwood and I had to.
Let's start. I'm gonna call people there inside, and
So you didn't do that.
I can do that if you are busy.
Y'all didn't do very good.
Yeah, when do you plan on doing these videos?
Well, it's pretty good. I like it.
Has his little
I mean,
rendezvous.
every time I get over there, I'm done. Oh, well, I didn't think.
Yeah, I do here and there.
Oh, yeah.
Send me a text message with you posting that so I can watch that.
BFL,
And
Span,
I would enjoy if you don't mind coming over every once in a while, learn some of that.
You're welcome to my force anytime.
No. Hey, Mom, they're all late.
Hey, Trey, I got a meeting for you.
Oh, thank you.
No, there is a.
You know I had to.
25. No, I think they're different.
Pessoal, eu vou aqui ó, fazer uma demonstração de fazer esses pinos arredondados aqui, tá? E vou mostrar a forma que eu faço, não é a forma correta, é a forma que eu faço, tá? Eu vou explicar tudo em inglês e depois a gente pode fazer um outro vídeo, fazendo um react e mostrando isso em português em outra situação talvez, se isso for interessante. Beleza, povo de Roma?
Well, most people didn't have. I had a buddy who had an old 25.
You're going to do the next one?
Yeah.
You want me to do the voiceover?
Or you or me, so it's on, so we do have 20 people.
Hi,
right
people.
now. Ha!
We're just having fun. Desculpa.
everybody seated on the workbench. Because we work with our buttholes.
Well, the Democrats. Is it on? Y'all just be patient. We'll be there in just a minute.
Oh, I haven't. Oh, it's a secret. You're not prepared.
Yes, you're just stand here.
So,
He's got all the pictures.
that is for the next up to a safe one. Yeah, that's it. And then from there. 116? I cannot afford low ones.
Is that all guard or is that Well, that's pretty bad. Oh, you did? Okay. I was gonna say, aren't you waiting? I was kind of next piece.
Oh, all right. I don't have none. So the only hammer I can't swing that far is that one that. I can run
Yes, sir.
Right, I cannot afford a 360.
So that, even though the pay's not gonna be wonderful, it's about $1,000 a month. Which.
Okay, let's just start.
20 years when I
That.
got out of high school, so I can go to college. I was in it from 80, 81 through 2000. Never got a.
Thank you, JR. Hey guys, I'm gonna start here with this little demonstration here, how to dump the beans right here. And this is not the right way or wrong way, this is just the way I do it, okay? Warren has asked me why I'm not using the 316 pins. It's just because the price of the steel is so high now, I cannot afford that, so I'm using a 116.
Oh, that was terrible.
So normally I don't do that on 316 pins because it's gonna be too big in my opinion. On my knives, I really like the small ones.
Go ahead.
Keep talking. Yeah. So on my knives, I don't use the 316. I just use 116. It doesn't matter the size of the knife. So you need to understand this one here is 65 thousandths, and whenever I finish, it comes to almost the double, but it comes to 120 thousandths, so 120 thousandths. So imagine if you have 316, you're gonna almost be the double. So I really prefer these small ones instead of the big ones. The only thing I'm doing here, this is of course just for demonstration, and here I have, and I need to confess, I didn't measure how much I leave here as a relief, or I mean the excess here to we're gonna dome and pin, but because of my friend, he is so accurate, and he asked me to measure that, and then I did measure, and what is funny is everything I did, it's a 30 thousandths, okay, so it means it's half of the diameter I have leave here to the top. So then we're gonna down that. And you can use any kind of hammer to do that, but the fastest way that I developed, I figured out how to do it is with a small little hammer like this. This is just a Harbor Freight hammer. I really don't know exactly what is this, the real proposal of this hammer. But I bought with this brass, so it comes with several tips that you can replace. The only difference that I did here, I solder a carbide and I make it rounded here. So that's why it's gonna take a lot of much less energy to down the pins, because this surface here is so hard. and it doesn't need too much power or strength to make that. The other thing, we can use any kind of aluminum can. So this is just a stainless steel foil, just because I had that on my shop. It doesn't need to be, it can be any aluminum can. You just make a little hole a little bigger than the 1/16 here. And the reason I'm gonna put this as a kind of mask to protect the handle material right here, okay? The other good, you don't need, it's not necessary, but if you can have some magnifiers like that, it's gonna be really, really helpful, because the idea is not to hit the material around, it's just, and not the center of the pin, and always the edge. So the edge is gonna be like a mushroom, like a dome, okay? So I'm gonna start one, and we have several to do, and if somebody wanna try, I really would like to encourage somebody to come here and try.
So you only have to wear the magnifiers if you're blind?
Yeah.
Usually that happens when you're over 40.
So this is, after my accident, this is the biggest hammer I can swing.
It takes me to do that 3/16 pin with that.
So, I don't know, look at that. Can you make it focus there? I don't know.
Start moving. Yeah.
Yeah,
We can see
okay.
it.
Let me show, it was, I don't know, some seconds, and you can see it already started to round it.
Yeah.
Those stainless steel.
What is that piece of metal for, Ricardo?
Which piece of metal?
That little piece.
Oh, this
I
can
need-
be, it
I
can be
need
aluminum
it on-
can. Can be aluminum can. This one is just a stainless steel foil that I use for stainless heat treating. But it doesn't need to be this one. It can be any kind of thing that it's
What
thin
is the
enough.
purpose of that? I didn't get in here to start with.
To protect the metal, that's to protect the what's going to be your handle material. If you hammer that, that's going to be a kind of mask to protect that.
protect the-
Yes, to protect
the wood.
the wood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
So all them little dings don't end up on the wood too.
yeah. So, I think you have bought some jewelry hammers. So,
I bought a chasing hammer for
okay,
engraving.
yeah, you can make and solder some carbide on those as well, but this works really, really good because you see I barely touch it and it started to do so. It's much faster, and whenever this is it's just polished, then it will make that much easier to make it down after that. So,
Well, you just beat around the edges.
Yes.
To make the
yes,
document.
yes. If somebody want to see,
Just started.
use the magnifier, and then you can see I barely touched the center.
Yes, you can see, you can see.
If some-
What I've been wondering about was that dome, because I can get it, I know how to paint it,
Right.
but I get it down.
Yeah, that's the one you.
Bush
Just
runs down.
started that.
So he's hitting it around the edge.
So
I
the
just
secret to
started-
that is, the secret to that is only go, like your pin is 120, you only want it to stick out 60 per side, and then paint
Yeah,
around
it's-
the edge. So if you go more than half the thickness of your pin, it'll typically start flaring out, and cracking on the edges.
And how long did I work here? About 12 seconds.
I'll take a hammer, small pin hammer, and put
So
it
you
back,
can run outside of
a
it.
big one.
Yeah.
And then I'll take a little one, and I'll set that one side on that, on top of that other one, and use a little one.
Let me work a little bit more. Lots of people, everybody gonna see, and I'm gonna work a little bit more back and forth. So we're gonna work on one side and bring back to the other side. Because of course, I didn't glue this one. So if you hammer too much, you're gonna push So we need to work evenly both sides, okay? Like whenever you're sharp, I do it with JR, sharp 3 times one side, 2 times, because we need that to be the same. So if we're just sharp from one side, you're gonna get chisels.
Those are stainless pins.
This is a 116 TIG welding rods. Stainless, yeah, stainless.
Welding rod work.
Yeah.
I think I got 2 or 300 pounds of them.
It's fine.
I don't think, oh, as blind as you are, you could hit it once.
You can use 1/4 inch piece, so it's gonna be much easier to.
Well, what I'm saying, Ricardo, I have got, I'll take you 2 or 300 pounds of them. Stainless steel rod, 332, 180. I don't think I got those 5, 6, 532, I'm right. 532, that's the biggest I've got. I've done somewhere in the past, I don't quite can, just put my hand can, it's never been over. Oh, the best thing done, get all that truck off of it.
There's not any more surgery. Pass out.
Now, I'm gonna use this. This is a very old 320. This is a 320. And after that, of course, we can buffing after that, of course, and then it will be completely finished.
I got that 500 pounds of 60 11 rods, or 60 10, 5 rods.
You have 1109 rods?
Yeah.
It does not take too long.
I
of
know
course.
I can live
We
on
can
that.
spend a little more time on that. This is just a
I'd
demonstration.
rather have a 5
But if
8.
anybody want to try,
Those
really
1109 are for
encourage.
overhead welding.
You
work in warehouses and the new guys.
a little bit.
Oh,
If you work a little bit more, but it does not take long.
That's stainless steel, wasn't it?
my favorite rod, all of them, 60 10.
Stainless don't lose as quick as that copper though. Not like practice.
Yeah, so if you use this, you're gonna move very.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it definite.
It really makes a difference.
If you, what I was taught was use an anvil or a round surface on the
Yeah.
pallet too, it makes it.
You can make a second one and make a kind of anvil and put in your vise like that, and then you're gonna have bottom and top where they're the same material. So
And if you're cheap,
That's what
you
I
can take
do.
a cut off material and just drill a spot in it to make a divot, and take a ball bearing and set on there, and use that as your bottom angle.
I
Works
was gonna
great.
say, Ricardo, there's one of them mushrooms in the
You get a bearing all big enough. Like I say, I've got
That
a, it's probably got a.
This
pin
and
door. But I do the same thing, Ricardo. I use that little ball peen. I got the bigger ball peen, how I put the back.
but you need to work with everything on that.
I'll put that bigger ball peen hammer I got, and peen end up, and put it in a bath, and I got a little hammer.
Yes, yes, you can use that as an
And
angle.
they'll come out about the same on each side when they do that.
Yes. Oh, on that one, that's so small. And I don't think it's really necessary to have another carbide angle because it's so small. You can do that in your. So if you're gonna make something a little bigger and have better results, then you can probably use the other one. Personally, I don't use myself. I just use a regular surface like an anvil or something. But you can pretty much do that.
If you use the round surface for the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and it slipped off, then it's gonna put the divot in the wood.
Yes, yes, so you need to be very careful. I do prefer the flat surface on the bottom, okay? Because it's easier to control, and then, especially if you're working with mother of pearl fishes, and then if you, oops, too late, let's start over. So, of course, we need to work on that a little bit more, but the idea is just to show it can move pretty quick with a very, very small and light hammer if you have a carbide solder here. Okay, and if I really, who gonna be the you or who gonna be the?
I'll be the guinea pig. I'll come do it.
I thought you was gonna say Dunny. No, okay.
Well, that might fit my case. All right, walk me through this here, boss.
Let's wait if they're gonna watch everything there. And this too, it's a pretty much self-explained, so you don't need to.
So I'm gonna take that one right there.
Yeah, anyone. Just choose one, and you can use the magnifier.
I'm gonna try the old-fashioned way.
Okay.
Over the top of the bifold. I see what you mean about having to have that.
This is a right-hand hammer.
Well, that's a problem. It's right.
You put it in the left hand, the right hand.
If something goes wrong, y'all know why.
I see why you need a cover over this, because I am all over it.
Yeah, try to use.
It's starting to move, so
Okay, you need to use this.
You've learned how to use that micro.
Okay, to protect, and you're gonna.
All right.
Okay, go slow and just try to go around this point. Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay. I got you.
Okay, stop right there. And then
Look at there.
we're gonna do the other one.
You're awful trusting to keep that thumb there, even though this is a little bit. Yeah, it's starting.
Okay, now you can understand. You're just
Yes,
working on
yes,
on the
yes, see
ground.
how, and I've got it started to move here.
Uh-huh. So what's going on here is going back and forth. So you need to start to make it even.
All right, so now we just put a little more on this one right here.
Uh-huh. And take your time and go slow. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
And I was a
now it's
little
time to
lopsided.
turn a little bit. Let me see.
I'm a little lopsided on this side, so I have to come over this side. Come to this side.
I'm gonna get me a Coke can, cut me a piece of metal.
You can. Yeah, you're trying to hit too much strong, so just take your time. Okay, now turn and work on this part a little bit more.
Alright.
Yeah.
Carlo, you need some stainless steel pins.
If I need,
You need some. I've got 332, 1 and you have to get the flux off of it. You know what I'm saying? There's stainless steel welding. You can talk about using a key.
No, to use as a
Yeah, that's why I make my pins out of welding rod.
This is also, but this is only one.
Yeah. Like I say, you just have to get the flux off of it.
Oh, it has flux. Oh, this one has not.
Yeah, I know that. Them donkeys, ones I've got flux on it. What I do, I put them on the handle. I just hammer it down, take that off.
Oh, it's a stick welding. Oh, the one that it's a stick welding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
You got a little up there, but it's.
Yeah, you can work a little bit more on one side.
if I don't get it, next month I'll bring you some.
Oh, no, hurry.
Like I say, next month, if I don't get it, I'll bring it. I use a well lock thing.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, I'd rather well stainless steel, I had regular.
That one right there.
So now you take the, whenever you think it's good enough, you just take the piece off and use your all around.
It's not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad.
No, yeah, it takes time. We are, of course, this is just a demonstration, just for demonstration purpose.
Yeah, there you go.
But look at that, it's a little
Look
different.
there. And they're both, they're both.
And you can work, take your fingernail here and on the sandpaper and go all around. Okay, in between your fingernail and your tongue. And you go all around.
There you go. How neat.
Yeah. You just need a little more time.
Yeah.
But you understood. You
Yes,
understood
I got it. I got it.
And it makes a lot of difference.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
Thank you,
let
sir.
me show here.
And I did it with the wrong side. I did it with the right.
Então os pinos ficam mais bem arrebatados assim e não machuca o material, você pode polir. Então isso é... Okay? Nope.
I can't get up there to it.
Nope.
You ain't got high enough stool for me to sit on.
Okay, guys, I think that's just an introduction, so we need to take your time, but it is pretty much done. So. This. Okay, are we done? Lucas, take your. Okay, I don't really measure how much, but it's really handy whenever you do that because you know exactly, you don't need to be guessing if you go here or there. So if you have length of the diameter, It will be right, or a little less than that. It will be okay. Okay, thank you guys. This is what I have for tonight.
Good job.
Gracias.
Things stick later. Things stick later.
No,
Okay, so let's,
Joanne, talk to Joanne.
let's move to the next one then.
You're in
And,
jail if you know the league, you
I'd like to have a question and answer session with the instructors. And so if any of y'all have questions or anybody there in TV land has, I like saying that, that's an old one. And when we were kids, they used to say that. Milton Burrow, all them guys. But yeah, regardless of that, 30 is, can we do a question and answer session, in case anybody got questions? Because I haven't answered the questions you didn't ask yet.
You know, there's actually a lot of questions they haven't asked.
Great, when it's gonna be faced, everybody.
Right, help us, because we don't know what we don't know too.
Well, that's the reason you don't know.
Exactly.
But we don't answer.
We're fired now and not be caught in that. That's
A lot of this we don't figure out until we're in a bind, needing to know at that moment. So yeah, help us shorten that learning curve.
You don't realize how short your learning curve is already.
We've got access to so much information that y'all didn't have when y'all were starting out. We don't know how good we got it. I understand that greatly.
Well, half of it's wrong.
Wait, nothing you say already happened.
Okay, so, we can do it right here. Yeah? We're here, okay, so Jay already, is kind of cool. Joe, we're gonna move it down, right, cool. If y'all got any questions and answers, and, if you got any answers, we'll ask questions. Yes, that's right. I like that. Because I have something I want to bring up, that everybody in this room sees in face, if y'all ask. All right, y'all go ahead, ask something. So surely y'all have a question.
Yeah, I'll ask a question. I have a little problem with scales sometimes, not always, but I usually have it on a thermostat. When it comes out, you don't even think you got it when you go to clean it, and it's, you can't hardly get it out. You gotta go back to the grinding.
Orange peel. Yeah, it's called orange peel. That's from your temperature, it's not correct.
Oh, well, okay, but I'll get it, and when I cleaned it off just to wipe it up to start with, it looks like it's powder coated. And when I get it, even if I sand it off, hand sand it off, or it won't come off with a conditioning belt. You know, I don't always have it, but occasionally I do, and it's just, hell, you're gonna regrind and hand sand it again to get it off of it.
You went past non-magnetic too far.
Well, I'm not saying that's not possible, but I'm real careful about it. I put boards down to where it takes a long time to get there. And then, I mean, I've done that before. I used to do that, but until I found out, I turned that forge down to where it's not blowing, it's not nothing, and I've got a temperature gauge, and I get it where it's about 1,600 degrees. I don't get it real hot. And I had problems.
1,600?
Huh?
1,600? 15 or 1,600?
I said, I get my forge about 1,600 degrees.
Forge.
So I won't overheat it too quick. I heat it slow, constantly checking, you know,
You do have a thermometer?
with a gun.
Yeah.
That's right.
Is this a normalization that we need?
I think it's normal.
Yeah, but whatever, but you do that after grinding? Or just after you forge? When do you make that?
I normalize mine after I've completely ground it out and even hand sand it. I do one hand sand, you know, before even.
I have a question for you. Why don't you normalize after the forge? The knife is still brewed at forge, you just normalize that. It's gonna be grinding much easier and you have no problems after that.
Oh.
So just swap whenever you do that. Whenever you finish, just thermocycle. And then you don't need to worry about that anymore.
Well, I hadn't done it that way, I'm hoping that'll do it.
Because what are doing right now, as far as I understood, you forge, then you grind. Then you go back to the forge to normalize.
Yes.
No, you are wasting time. So just forge, normalize, then go grinding. And you're gonna grind much easier, there's still gonna be miles.
And you're already at the forge. The forge is already hot.
Yeah, that's gonna answer a lot of what you're.
Yeah, because I'm always, I get my blade all the grinding done where I'm not gonna be grinding over there, getting hot spots and other things during the time that I'm, and then I'm gonna know I got it clean, after that, go back and normalize it, and draw the grain down and stuff again, without, I may be grinding a little hard, and I may have.
I think if you try it that way, Dave, that you'll have better success.
I'll try it.
I know all the classes that I teach, and I tell them that in the class, it really doesn't matter when you do it, as long as you do it. But since you're already at the forge and you've just forced it to shape, why not thermal cycle it then?
And gonna be everything easier whenever you're gonna file, whenever you're gonna drill a hole or grinding. Everything you're gonna do that on my steel style is still with a lot of attention.
Now, the other question I'd have for you is, when you put thermocycling, when you're doing that, do you bring it to the same temperature each time to do that? In other words, do you bring it to, say, 1400 3 different times?
No, I skip it.
You what?
I mean, I'll do the first one is to non-magnetic, and then the other one about 1200, and the other one is black heat.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. So I'm not counting. I do it at a different time. You're doing well when you're stepping it down like that, in my view. And so, yes.
Okay.
Is there an overheating issue if after your quench, you've got what looks like bubbles? Is that overheating?
Yeah, that's the from Tom Horn's field talking, he was talking about.
Frosting.
Yeah, frog skin.
Frosting.
That's the.
And I used to get that quite a while back, but I've not had, because you can tell it when you get over there and go to clean it up.
You've gone way past non-magnetic.
Yeah.
I get it from
I
time.
know that.
A lot of times I get it towards the tip where it's a lot thinner and got hotter.
If you look at your steel, when you come out of the forge and go into your oil, and when you pull it out of the oil, by looking at the color, if it's all black, then something was wrong. Either it was too hot, your oil wasn't hot enough, some temperature was out of sync. When it comes out of that oil, it should be gray. Just wipe it off with a towel, and it'll be gray. That's what you're looking for. Everything, all your temperatures are right, your oil temperature is right, you soak long enough in the oil. How long do you stay in the oil?
I switch in parts, but I only stay in like 10 seconds vigorously shaking. And then I come out.
Personally, I just like to leave more inside, to be sure. I think 10 seconds, you still have a lot of temperature on the blade. That's not enough for it. It also depends on the tank. What size
9
of
times
tank.
out of 10, I can hold it for 10 seconds in that range. So.
But I like more than 10 seconds. Just last.
JR, you do about what, 6?
6 to 7.
So
Well, you have an opportunity there. If you leave it in the oil longer, your hardening process is started.
Yes.
So when it comes out of the oil, it's already hard.
Mhm.
If you come out at 6 seconds, it's still at last 50.
I still have that,
And-
even let,
But
even more
the
than that.
window is shorter.
Yes.
But it could be, one thing that could be the difference is, what oil are you using, what oil are
That's
you
true. The
using?
difference is-
You got another variable there, not
That's
thinking
another
about.
variable.
Yeah.
And there's so many variables.
So many different
Yeah, there's a
variables.
big difference between Parks 50 and Parks AAA.
Mhm.
And that's,
And I don't use either. I use
Yep.
Chevron Super Queen 70. That's another difference.
So I would like to ask a question,
Certainly.
and that question would be, it would be wonderful if actually it'd be the three, maybe the four amigos, the four of y'all, including Lynn, would put together a white paper on a step-by-step, how you do, because you can buy these books how to, and you don't know if they're right, wrong, or indifferent. Would be wonderful if y'all could collaborate into a white paper or even then turn it into a book where it's a step-by-step of the three mastersmiths of Old Washington. I mean, just as a guide for folks, I'm not a knife maker, I'm a collector, but I've dabbled in it a little bit with y'all. I mean, that would be so handy to see, this is what you do, and then you could even put in there, well, I use this oil and it's so many, you know what I'm saying, to get a real baseline for new students. I mean, that may be something that you guys don't want to do, but boy, it sure would be handy. Who would buy that white paper, that book?
Knife making for dummies, right here.
You know, that's really a good ideal. And we attempted this at one time years and years ago, and it never worked out, but there was more people involved. Probably with the four of us,
It'd be easier
probably
to
more to
handle
be
that.
done.
less opinions.
There's so many variables in there.
Yeah.
Like, y'all using, I can wait till peanut oil, and I take out of my fish cooker. And, I used to have the problems you're having, with it got an orange peeling or something, and I worked on that through these guys, and come to find out I was overheating. Is what I was doing, and it was kind of, crazy now. But then some of the variables are, not just the quenching oil, is how you heat treat. I heat treat with a torch, because I want a temper line. Now, some do and some don't. I like the temper line because I like the soft back of the knife. Because I make utility knives to hunt and do stuff with. And my knives aren't pretty, but you ain't gonna break one of them. But the edge is hard to get sharp. So the variables.
Well, on your oil, I've got a question for you. What is a good temperature to heat your oil up to before you do quench? As far as general rule of thumb, is there one, or is it just depending on the oil itself?
I'm sure it has a lot to do with the oil itself. The Chevron Super Queen 70, the instructions are to heat the oil at 120 degrees. Parks 50, I heat it, but probably not that long.
I do use hydraulic oil. I don't use the specific oil for heat treatment. So I use hydraulic tractor oil.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just, I just leave that warm. Whenever you put your finger there, you don't bring back, you can see your skin.
It's warm, but still comfortable.
Yeah.
Like bad water.
The most important thing, y'all as bladesmiths of 1 and 8 and up, is control of your temperature. There's a lot easier way to make knives than y'all are trying to do. You can go out your stock mode, send it off, it comes back nice and hard, okay? But as bladesmiths, y'all going out there in a forge and you're hammering, you're doing this the old way. The control of your temperature on all stages of this is the most important thing y'all have to learn. It's why a lot of times for your first year or two, you have more failures than positives sometimes. Because it's overheating and there's all kinds, because you overheat your grind, you overheat in your thermocycle, in the heat treating, in the tempering. And all this is really important, the control of that temperature.
So anything that you can do that
develop a consistency, you'll benefit from,
Yeah, because whenever you think, you say, hey, I have a recipe now, then you change the thickness of your knife.
Recipe change.
Yes, it's a different steel.
Every time you change an element, you change the entire recipe.
Exactly. These are the different steels, you know, your forging 5160 or 1075 or 80 CRB, whatever.
It all changes.
W2, everything's different.
Yeah. We had some time ago some demonstrations here to show the grain structure whenever we quench, and we did quench in the water. Do you remember that? And I wasn't able to break the steel even quenching the water. So that puzzled me so much. Then I took some piece of that steel and brought home. And at home I tried, that is a 80 CRB tube. And then I heat treated exactly the same way I heat treated here. But the difference is I wait longer to bend that.
Let it harden.
And then, whenever I bend it, it broke like glass like that. But here, during the demonstration, just to be embarrassing from everybody, it didn't break. So we were here back and forth, just to show the grains.
That was because it hasn't gone through the process of hardening.
So that was one steel that I haven't worked in my entire life. I've never. So we need to wait more to get hardened. So we need to cure.
I have a question, and then each of y'all could just give me a hand up or fingers up or whatever. How many different steels do you have in your shop? Do you only work one steel? Do you have 3 or 4? 2, a 3, a 3, 3, a 3, 3, 3, 2, 4, 3?
Adam ain't none of their fingers.
He's showing 4, but he's missing 1, and we got the other one.
3.5. You know, that's a lot of your problem, is going from one steel to something new, because somebody said, hey, this ADCR.
This is the new one.
This is the best
Fancy
steel,
one.
so you're gonna wanna try that. But what you need to do is pick one and yeah, get a handle on it to where it performs like you want it to. Where you can go out there and chop 32 befores and it still shakes. And once you achieve that, then if you want to try this new best steel out there, then go get this new steel and try it. But you need to work on your process and write it down that for this steel, this is what I do. But for this steel, I have to do something different. Some of the recipe changes.
And experiment with it. For instance, most of y'all, do y'all have an old 5160 steel stuff in your shop? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
My favorite. Experiment with it, see what you can do with it. This year marks 50 years from now. I'm still working with that steel. I'm still working with that one. Maybe it's because I'm not real smart. But you can make that stuff. That's good steel.
You're really right.
Okay, everything.
Rephrase that.
You can make that a dance for you if, but you gotta first learn the really basics of it. Then what else can you do with that to zip it up a bit? So,
What do you want your knife to be able to do? That's the question you need to ask yourself.
so I'm not gonna tell you how or anything, because y'all are learning. But Matt was in the shop this week, and he can tell you, we had a little knife we was working on that when he tested it, it was 61 Rockwell, filed the skate off of it, and I promise you, you can bend it to a 360-degree circle and it will not break. What got steel? Sir? It's a 160. That's a plain old steel. So you experiment with this and see exactly what you can do with this. Learn the very basics first, and then continue to try to get the goodies out of it. It will make you scratch your head sometimes. So instead of what they're saying, chasing the latest, greatest, find out what you can do with that.
Do y'all have a standard idea of length of time or temperature between your quench and temporary?
Fast as you can get it in there. The
Reasoning?
books call for immediate.
Because the only thing I'm thinking about is like in the case of that one, if it's still hardening,
Yes.
still get it in there, cause it's gonna drop the right
Right,
temperature.
and when you get your knife tempered, and it's done, it's on the table, and the knife continues to harden for the next 1,000 years. It's like concrete. Now, once you do, the basics of it's done. You've drawn it to, say, 400 degrees, but microscopically, it will continue to get hard just like concrete or like glass. But now, in the best case in point is JR. JR took his master's test knife. Back then, there wasn't a rule there is now, so it all broke on the, except about maybe 3/8 of an inch on the spine. He hanged it on the wall, you know, hey, I got my master's, you know, and he said, through and we're still bent like that. About a year and a half later, poof, fell off, hit the floor. Just hanging on there. It continued to get harder and harder. And it was
Especially
under
under
stress.
stress.
And so,
Well, give the staff that.
There you go.
If you wanna test that, get your piece of 1095 and heat treat it, and don't temper it, just heat treat it on it. And set it on your counter and walk away. And check it every day. Probably you want to check it one day. The next day it'll be gross, most of them, really. Just lay it on your counter.
So it calls for immediate, you know, an hour or two, depending on the steel you're working with, you could just shot yourself in the foot. And so.
5160 is probably gonna be one you can wait 10 minutes, maybe.
It's
So don't worry, it's,
With 5160, I've left Ricardo's, went to my house and done it, so it was
you can,
hour and a half, 2 hours before I did it.
but I will tell you on 5160, there's issues with all steel. It's not a cosmetic steel. So when it's rolling at the mill and it's in flat bar, you will see when you forge your knife and grind it, every once in a while you find these little black lines. Yeah, they're called zips. What that is, since it's not a cosmetic steel, it's perfectly legal to have trash in the rolling mill. That's what that is. The steel mill calls them zips. They may pop up here and then et cetera, et cetera. Round bar, because of the way it's extruded, cannot have the trash. It extrudes itself out and it's clean. It won't have zips. But Uncle Al, years ago, in the late 80s, we was fooling with that, and we would cut off bars of 5160 and send it to a separate, should have 0.6 perfect. We had a lot of them come in at 0.6. We had a lot come in at 0.4. Some of them come in at 0.7. So you can't say, oh, I always test, you know, temperature this. So you can have them cut that bar off for an additional fee. They'll test that for you and send out analysis with that bar. So that's, you kind of have to watch some of that steel. That's why so many people went to 1084. It is a more closely regulated steel. But you can also solve that just on the ground work, but not everybody can. But anyway, sorry about that. Continue on. Okay. Y'all got any more questions? Well, I have one for y'all. And this is going to face everybody in this room, the economy. It's fixing to bite some of you guys in the butt. All right. So what happens is, can I legally talk about this?
I'm not here. I don't know.
All right, so as this economy is get worse and worse, okay? I mean, everybody's predicting it. They now say, what, 10 weeks a week is all out there in the world right now. 8 weeks now. That's it, all right? And so things is gonna get tough. Not making it fit to get tough. The way you sell them fit to get tough. So, if you have enough out there, some people will start selling them when they get in a real bind. The little boy out here with the beat up car, he got that $200 night, he might sell it now. So you're gonna be competing against your own self. That's gonna be a real problem. All right. Now, if you don't have a lot of them out there, continue on and hopefully you'll sell it. But if you are competing against your own self on the market, stop doing the things that you've always done. So if you've always made Bowie knives and you're competing against it, quit. Don't make no more Bowie knives. Make honey knives. Make daggers. Something. This way you won't compete against your own self. If you've only made fixed blades only ever in your life, and you really get bombarded, and because it happened last time we had a nice little crash. Backdoor knife makers are going to get jobs left and right, okay? And so the first one that went out was the $500 and under guys. Then the middle market, boy, they started hurt. And some of them, they competed against themselves so much, that's it. They had to go get a job at McDonald's. Look for it now. Look now, before everything does start crashing. If it does, what I need to do. All right, so, you can ask them to, they can advise you really well on what you might be, but if you don't have enough out there, probably not gonna hurt you that bad. So, that's just my view on it, but it's fixing to get a bunch of guys.
So it's not a good time to become a full-time night picker?
No, I don't think I would.
I don't know if there's ever a good. I've got a funny story that goes right along with what Jerry was saying. When our economy tanked here several years ago,
Oh, wait, oh, no.
I was at a knife show in Atlanta, and the most expensive knife I had on my table at the time was $2,000. And then I had hunters for $400 to $600. I have maybe one for $800-900 range. I brought all those knives home except for the $2,000 knife. And the guy that bought it, I asked him, just trying to make conversation, how is the downturn in the economy affecting you? And he looks at me and he said, I don't participate in recessions. And I didn't know how to respond. But the more I thought about it, at first I thought, well, that was, kind of rude. But the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. I won't participate either, so I don't make $400 knives anymore. I make $2,000 knives and up, because the people that don't participate in recessions can still afford it. But the guy that would buy the $400 hunting knife, he can't afford it, so he's having to buy $4 a gallon gasoline.
Yep.
$5 a gallon, which is soon be $8 a gallon.
It makes a big difference, because the collectors themselves, as the one like he's saying, for instance, they have golden opportunity to be able to get some really cool stuff from some makers that they don't have to fight the crowd to get in there as much. And so they can get some really good pieces without waiting as long and such. But for those that's making some levels, it's fixing to bite you. And so plan now. All right. Yes, sir.
Just from my end of it, right? I don't have a $2,000 knife for sale, and I probably won't for the next 10 years. But what I did the other day, I had a knife that I couldn't sell for nothing, but I traded it to this Mexican fellow to help me weld something up. It didn't cost me a thing. So if you can't make a $2,000 knife, if you make a $100 knife, it might come in handy trading them things out for corn or gas or whatever. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the barter won't come back to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And you don't have to pay the government tax on barter.
And when you're a full-time knife maker, you'll learn how to bargain better.
Yeah.
Here's what I always say about it. We know a lot of knife makers, a lot of them. I only know a very few rich ones.
Rich ones?
Rich ones.
I don't know any.
See, hey, you can make a living making knives. If you can make a knife you can sell for $2,000 or $100. You can make enough $100 knives. You can make you can make a box full of $100 knives before you can make the $2,000 knives, because of the amount of time you have to put in it. So I think you gotta figure out which niche you wanna be in, and the people you know that's gonna buy your $150 knives, you probably know a bunch of them. Now, if you're in it big time like y'all are, have been, got your name out there, you got clients out there, they want the JR knife. What are these guys buying these high-dollar knives for? Whenever the JRs of the world pass on, that price is going sky high. Hey, hey, what you doing? That's gonna get extra money. We're gonna get players. Now, am I right about that?
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. That's
Of
why,
course, it's not be kinda like I am, you know, I like that country song. I'd still be doing this if I wasn't doing this. So,
You gotta love it.
that's why, before I started buying
Yeah.
JRs and Jerry's knives, I asked what their age was. So can you give me a medical detail on your health?
Yeah, who would like to have Bill Brand now? You got one? Yeah. There wasn't a whole lot more now than it was when he made it, believe me.
Yeah, I was just looking at some Bill Scagles.
Oh, the scale knife, there you go.
Bill Scagel, man, I'll say so.
You know, we saw a big display right here one time with the Skagel knives of the Dr. Lucy. Dr. Lucy had a whole bunch of them. And he opened this thing up and he said, go ahead and have them, they're just a knife. But now they're worth a fortune.
So what do you like that he did that for some of the guys that don't want you to touch them?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, we're all over Googling over him, you know, and he said, go ahead and pick them up. He said, it's just a knife, you know. But that's Dr. Lucy. He was a nice guy.
Anybody got any other questions, comments, remarks, things to throw, monkeypox?
Well, I'm just listening to y'all as a newcomer to all this, but, you know, y'all talking about all joking aside, I got it pretty good. I'm retired, so I don't have to worry about making money with knives. I'm just doing it because I want to learn how to do it.
That's the best time to become a full-time knife.
I can say now, once I get my shop up and going, I made my first blade, I can officially say I am a full-time blade. Whether I ever sell one or not.
I'll give more away than I ever sold.
That's me.
I'm still giving them away.
All right.
What we're gonna do next month?
Okay. Next
I
month,
do trade knives.
Ricardo's got it's a battle forge. You wanna talk about what you wanna talk about?
Yeah, I'll bring, you can bring yours, the Mr. Vulcano forge.
Yep.
And it's a very simple forge for whoever want to start. You don't need to buy tons of money like you did. I'm not, no, so you have a very good forge, but I mean, some people cannot afford that whenever they are on beginning. So you can start with that Vulcano that you, did you assemble yours?
It's still in the box.
Yeah, okay, it's in the box. So you can bring that box that everybody can see. And unpack that, and people are gonna see that. So that forge, it's really, really nice because it's very good for beginners. And it does not cost more. Probably the price now is $85, $90 with everything, the regulator and the brick and everything to make a little forge. So it's very, very nice to start. So I will bring one. I will bring one that I make some modifications, and he will bring a one that he assembled, and he will bring one that is not assembled at all. So we're gonna have it 3 phases, and then we can move on that situation.
Okay, and we're also gonna have the first qualifying round for the cutting competition. I've gotta meet with the college, and we got some things we gotta get done before then, but they're gonna be sending out emails, etc., quite broadly for people who wants to come in and try. So it may be a pretty good little bunch.
$88.
$88.
For the
So
forge.
yeah.
Mr. Volcano on Amazon.
Same rules as the festival?
Same rules of the festival?
Yeah, same rules as the festival. You wanna give them the rules?
No, just, no, the same thing to me.
No more than 16 and a half.
Don't get yourself, yeah.
Mechanical guard.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Bow style, mechanical guard, 11-inch blade, 16 overall, 2 inches maximum
Lanyard.
with lanyard. What else?
Tips.
You need to have a
Buoy style.
bow style, yeah, you need to have a.
That's important. We roll a guy out trying to.
And heat
He
treated.
left.
Man, sir, heat treated.
Yes,
Okay.
properly. Yes.
Hey, go ahead and temper it too.
Yeah, but.
Go ahead and temper it while you're at it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. It'll last a lot longer that way.
You guys.
temper it too after you heat it.
So,
Yeah.
So, we probably ought to start the cutting about 6 o'clock, don't you think? Just to make sure he's not gonna be here, you'll be safety.
Oh, you're not.
You'll be safety, so, yeah, we'll start about 6:15 in the whole day. If you're,
Okay.
come in and we're already started, you just messed up. So, yeah, so, be here.
Be here.
Uh, If you've never entered one before, it's a good learning experience and use it as such. And so,
You'd be surprised at how much you'll learn on your edge geometry, whether it's heat treated or not. All those things really matter.
Do you feel the
You
love?
know, we're probably not gonna let this go.
I think one thing else is doing your test in front of other people too. Cause like I was nervous in front of that crowd.
that's good.
And
But,
I knew I was chopping that 2x4 wrong, but I was so nervous I couldn't correct myself. I stopped and thought about it.
The name of that is competition. This is the name.
yeah, so.
So
Whatever
this
gonna
doing
be.
here, you got more than just, yeah, I can chop 2x4 at home versus doing it in front of people.
So we found out something else after the competition is over, but on the rope cutting, that's the poorest rope cutting I saw. It had-
Oh,
But everybody was freaked out by the metal bucket. There's always been a plastic bucket down there. You're not gonna hit the crap in the bucket. Nobody's ever hit the plastic bucket, but it frees everybody up.
I didn't even notice it's metal. I said,
Guys, it's cut rope for the last 10 years and never missed, was missing it. So sometime we're gonna play a little hand game with y'all, I'll tell y'all now.
metal buckets.
Here's the rope cutting, rope cutting scenario. I was
Some
testing.
people don't play head games.
You know, was up and up high, went down and testing and chopped the boards and all this kind of stuff. And I went to cut the rope and I would cut million pounds. I couldn't cut the rope. I knew the knife was good, you know, I cut it before I went down there, I couldn't cut the rope. So you got one last chance, maybe the rules will change, but then you can let somebody else cut the rope. JR could went up there with my knife and go whack. So, maybe I was tired from cutting it, or
That's what I
something. There is a technique, if you know that technique.
We went over that technique last month here.
Okay, there is a technique to that.
So we're gonna try to do that each month to show different techniques for cutting of some of the things that we cut. We're probably not gonna show you everything, because we want something new.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna show the 30
They
degrees.
gonna show you everything.
No, but the thing is, all these cuts can be done. You know, that if we have it in an event, Ricardo has already done it. So it's not an undoable thing. It can be done, you just may not know the technique. Biggest thing is safety.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, because like you said, you're nervous, you're not thinking, you got your hand out there in front of you, and you're fixing to chop, and it's really hard for the safety guy to watch all of that, because not only am I watching you, I'm having to watch this guy run up to get a picture.
Yeah, that was, I was taking pictures of him, and JR was like, you move. Yeah. I was like, man, that was my shot.
Yeah, because, you know, it's dangerous, and I've seen knives come apart.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's
Not knowing what you're chopping means, like Jay was saying the day of, you can push it to the max.
Yes, well, we had a gentleman that should remain nameless. His handle was breaking off of his blade. He excused himself, and I didn't catch it. Because I was at Daisy Malvin, and they called him super doing it back together.
So for your information,
He was
Super
fixing-
will not hold
He
it.
was fixing to enter it again. That doesn't know, hell no, on it. So I forbid him from entering it a couple of years over that kind of mess. So he said that somebody hurt. And so, that's it, safety is a big, big thing. He has to watch the knife, he has to watch the makeup, his hand, watch his leg, everything.
And we don't know how you tempered or heat treated it.
You know, if he did.
Or if you did.
Or what he did.
Those pieces break hard, they go through the armor.
Oh, yeah. I will say, Joe Fuller years ago, when he tended his first hammer in, he had to go take a break and missed the tempering part. He only caught the heat treating part. So about 2 months later, he called me, he said, man, I'm having a problem with the knife. He said, every time he had a tip before, the front half breaks off and it goes flying. He said, like, what are you tempering it? We ain't tempering it. Finally, figured out it's just not there at that time. So there's a lot of variables with this. So, okay, anybody got any questions?
One more thing that I forgot,
Yes.
the announcement. We're gonna have a demonstration at Garrett's in Texarkana, June 18th. So we're gonna be, Jerry and I, and we're gonna be forging, cutting, and doing demonstrations there at Garrett's in Texarkana, Richmond Road.
Signing checks, you know.
Yeah, no, you're gonna be signing checks.
It's gonna be at the one on Richmond Road.
Yeah.
Well, they got two places, man, they got one on State Line.
Richmond Road, Richmond
There's
Road.
gonna be the one on
Right
Richmond
across from
Road.
the Sonic.
Hey, it's gonna be on Richmond Road, James.
Thank you.
Yeah. Could you please tell him?
I done got it wrote down.
Everybody wear blue.
I've already got it wrote on my calendar.
And there's another thing, James, that's gonna be on Richmond Road.
Got it.
Okay, yes, you as an archer.
You know, all this talk about the cutting competition really makes me feel like I have a target on my back.
You better shoot.
So with the points given, does the winner of last year's, this past competition, does he get ranked higher on the points already?
No, actually.
The thing you really need to worry about, Jim Blow, is handing that belt over to the next one. And then right there, we're gonna have it, right there, we're gonna have it this next year. You're gonna get it.
Just remember, Jim Bob, there's always somebody a little bit better than you are.
Oh, but I'm gonna tell you what, there was lots of people better than I am.
I wanna
And I
say-
was just shocked and amazed that.
We were all
I got-
shocked that you. We did have a little ceremony at the exchange, but you've got to find a tutu.
You'll supply that, won't you? I'll wear it if you supply it.
Be careful.
Don't worry, you guys. I'm sure you, I talk bigger guys than you in the world.
I never see me Walker wearing a tutu on stage.
I told you this, what God made, what impressed me the most about you winning that, what you put on Instagram, I believe it was, that you was practicing or doing something, that you was going to bring that belt home. And it is. And I said, they ain't no way. That's what I said, Gary. I'm not gonna lie about it, though. He was so doggone sure that I am going to get that belt to bring it home. I like to fell out on this walker out there. I just said, there ain't no way.
He thought he was just talking smack.
You
I didn't need to.
He's dreaming.
Y'all said Jerry had to clear
I was
it 5 times before he said Jim.
You gotta say that. I said, the boy's dreaming. Cause he's up against all them others, I know that's good. Oh, yeah.
On that particular day, he did what he said he was going to do. That's all that counts. All right, y'all got any more questions? And so we have next month's lined up, and we'll either have the same Mexican ladies or a barbecue truck. One of the two. I'd vote for the same Mexican ladies.
Boy, that was good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much.
I will go, thank you.
All right, and now, the following month, let's see, that will be, this is what month, May, so it'll be June, will be the first qualifying, so in July, we're gonna have a two before, chop test, and et cetera. Bring your cutter up here, we're gonna show you all the two styles of cutting, woodpecker and lumberjack, all right, and we'll show you all how to do that.
I'll show the woodpecker one.
That'll help, but that's probably all we're gonna show you all in the cutting. There's rope, we may show you on water and boards, because you should be able to take those and extrapolate, that's my new word for the week.
That's a good one.
You think?
What does it mean?
It's just like a word, you know what it means. You have your extrapolate, and then you have your extrapolate. So-
Miss Bob worked with him all week.
So, those three things, mainly those two things, everything will bounce off of those. And those will be always the two most common things. The three of them, we're not about to tell you what y'all gonna cut next year, we've already working on it. Congratulations. Okay. All right, are we done? All right, folks, we'll see y'all next month, the last Friday of June.
Thank you.
See y'all later.
42 horas e meia. 42 horas e meia de live. A gente vai cortar agora e a gente se vê. Quando? Vamos cortar esse negócio aqui, sei lá. Abraço, valeu.
I talked to her today.